Hello there, and as usual, I'm Aaron from Strichtarn Gamers, and welcome. So today we're doing a little bit of a different video. You can actually see we're in the war room here, and we're going to be taking a look at a little bit of my equipment. We'll be talking about the vest, we're also going to be talking about the rifle itself and how I configure my AKs. We're going to be both looking at the 74 standard variant and the 74U shortened version, or the Krinkov, depending on what you want to call it. Now first off, let's take a look at the rig. From left to right, we actually have a BFG in this first pocket, quickly accessible, and this little bad boy, a little tip you can do with these is stick a cheap GPS tracker in them. So when that player decides to steal one, puts it in his pocket, walks off, you whip your phone out, and you can see the guy walking away, and you just have to confront him about it. A great little tip to save your investment there. If you don't want to do that, you can also attach a little bit of a bell to it. Or I've even heard stupid stories of people with string attached to them, but I don't recommend that. Now going across the rig, we've actually got 6 AK mags. One of them is missing because it's in the rifle over at the side. And you can see I can quickly access these magazines. They don't clink around like some of the other pouches do, and they're very fast to draw. Now moving across back to this side, we have another grenade pouch. So we've got 2 in total, very fast deploy. Now moving to this little pouch, we have a very simple OP4, med kit. We've got electrical tape and a bandage. If that can't fix an airsoft injury, you are in serious trouble. A plaster should be able to fix an airsoft injury, unless you break your leg or something. But there we go, electrical tape and a bandage. So let's actually move on to the AK and how I configure them. So we'll pick it up. So you notice this one is actually camouflaged, so purists are going to hate. You can see across the front we've got standard muzzle brake. We have mounting brackets for a GP30 grenade launcher. Now moving across from there, we actually have a small micro red dot on top with green and red adjustability. Moving down to the side, we have the standard fire selector, and this fire selector has actually been modified with sort of sandpaper style grip tape, so I can easily switch it down with my hands when it's on the weapon, switch it down, switch it back up to semi and full auto. And I can also adjust the grip. You can see that we've got grip tape once again on there as well. It gives a very rough and aggressive feel, but it's not as bad when you've got your gloves on. Now moving back to the stock, it's just a standard wood stock that has been painted up. And the only difference between this and a few of the rifles left is that we have ourselves a little bit of a speed mag catch. You can see how it's extended off to the sides, both there, so you can press it more easy. You can actually push your finger into it and release that magazine, not having to whack your hand off the magazine or whatever you want to do, grab it from this side. Now the final attachment we have on here is an angled foregrip, a Magpul style one. We also have on the side rail covers so I can quickly attach a torch or cameras depending on the situation. Very useful indeed, and that's just a basic configuration. Now this is a GHK AK. If I actually quickly field strip it here, you can see we have the spring, return spring, and we also have a buffer because this AK does not retract all the way to the rear with the bolt. So if we actually decide to pop this out now, if we put safety down, bring that up, you can actually see we have the bolt there. Very interesting, very simple, and uses them gas mags very efficiently. Just what you want out of a gas gun to get that realistic sort of recoil. And it all goes back together quite fast as well. So let's just slide that in, hit this back into there, put that recoil spring in, and then all is left is the dust cover on top. So this is the GP30 that can fit onto the end, adding a lot of weight to the AK itself. But at the same time, you get the benefit of being able to launch shower grenades and tag rounds, as well as some of the mortar rounds that you can just stick in, light, and launch off into the distance, clearing out big enemy groups of players. Perfect for that perfect sort of situation. Otherwise, it's rather useless, and it's just going to add extra weight. But let's have a look at some of the shorter AKs. So the next thing I want to show you is another GHK. This is the AK-74U. Now this has some really interesting features once again. Number one, it's shorter, more compact. You've got the folding stock, so you can bring this in really tight next to you in them CQB sort of environment, and you can sling it with this little sling hoop at the back here. Now the usual AK sling loops cause a lot of problems, but when you're actually holding it like this and it's slinged to your body, you can draw a pistol, fire a rocket launch, you can do whatever you need to do in that sort of situation. Fold it back and we're ready to go. And it's got that iconic sort of folding top cover where you can go back and then you can fire off your round as the hammer goes forward. Well, the hammer's not going forward because the mag's empty. But there we go, hammer going forward, and you can watch all the beauty of that GHK series. And you can give it a bit of a ram back down. There we go, just another lovely piece. Let's have a look at the same gun, but as an electric model. So now we're looking at its electric brother. This is a TM recoil AK, and I've set it up exactly the same, minus the paracord on the stock. At the front, we actually have the camera mounting brackets that are switched out between them, and this is just a sniper scope sort of loop ring where you put your scope on, but it's actually been put on the muzzle brake itself. So this is another really compact, fast and manoeuvrable weapon. The only problem with this is you've got to have the bigger grip because there's a motor in there, so it means you have to sling it slightly different. Now a lot of people have problems slinging these, so what I've done is actually loop the sling through so it'll actually hang correctly on my body when I'm moving, and it'll allow me to transition without any problems from side to side. Another thing that you need to consider. So to wrap this up, I'd like to thank you for watching this video. It's been something a little bit different, and hopefully you've enjoyed it. And remember, take your hits.